Let us begin this somber story in a time before the ashes fell. Krieg, a world once vibrant, laden with life and opportunity, where cities gleamed beneath a golden sun and its people lived amidst prosperity. But beneath this surface of apparent serenity, there stirred a deep hubris, a pride that would soon lead to its own undoing. The descent started with whispers and dark ambitions that spiraled into the cataclysmic grasp of war, an internal conflict brought about by the machinations of ambition and betrayal. The planetary governors, seeking power, chose the road of rebellion against the Imperium, igniting a civil war. Now let us pause and breathe in the inevitability of fate, gently carried on the whisper of the wind to what was once a hopeful land. It is here, in this quiet prelude, where doom slowly spread its shadow. As the conflict raged, bombs fell, and cities burned like paper in the inferno. Krieg had sealed its own fate, igniting the fire of its own ruin. There was a moment, a brief heartbeat, where choice hovered on the brink, but the path was already chosen, and so the planet was committed to its demise. The doom would come from above, the skies themselves became heralds of ending. For when the final days of conflict neared their burning crescendo, the ultimate act of destruction was unleashed. Atomic fire rained down from the heavens, consuming all in a blaze of light. So Krieg changed. Beneath a shroud of choking ash, an entire world sighed its death, its surface scarred by frozen shadows, ruins standing solemnly against a perpetually overcast sky. The bell tolled for Krieg, but not for its people, not entirely. Listen now to the silence after the storm, a heavy, quiet wakefulness, as we drift together amidst this solemn, transformative moment. In the aftermath of destruction, a world lay beneath a blanket of grey. The soil turned acrid, the air thick with sullen silence. And yet, amidst this desolation, the whispers of survival emerged, a whisper that spoke of penance, of redemption through utter and final sacrifice. Here, amongst the ashes, arose the first of the Death Korps of Krieg. They were not born of idealistic hope, but of necessity and unyielding resolve. A culture of penance emerged where every breath taken amidst the radioactive remains was an oath of service, a promise to the Emperor, a vow to atone for the sins of their forebears. The children of Krieg, shaped by this philosophy, were raised in teachings of duty and sacrifice. There was no childhood as others might know it, but a path of preparation for a life of war. This relentless training tempered both body and mind, forging soldiers whose loyalty was beyond question. Envision them, these solemn youths, faces marked by somber understanding, hearts beating to the rhythm of their world's penitential purpose. In the barren fields where nothing green would grow, they practiced with unwavering dedication. Feel the passage of time, unchanging as the seasons that no longer graced their world, each day preparing, each year honing the skills necessary for their destined path. Their souls entwined with duty, hearts hardened by resolve, as their planet offered its own form of nourishment. A quiet pride born of necessity. The teachings embraced by each generation sculpted them into the figures who would become the Emperor's most unyielding warriors. And so, each generation learned the rituals of sacrifice, the simplicity of a life lived for a singular purpose, a life that thrived beneath the watchful eyes of tradition and destiny. Let this penance drift away now, fading gently into the endless horizon, as the true enormity of their resolve quietly seeps into understanding. Their resolve, their determination, bore fruit and bloomed into the formidable entities known as the siege regiments of Krieg. These regiments, a manifestation of ultimate sacrifice and unwavering discipline, represented Krieg's unending penitence and pride. As we meander through the unfolding tale, we must come to understand the siege regiments as living embodiments of Krieg's devotion. Clad in their heavy armor, they march beneath banners of retribution, a choir of silent footsteps echoing across the war-torn tapestry of 1,000 worlds. Listen to their approach, a rhythmic promise of inevitable confrontation, a herald of doom to the enemies of the Emperor. The Death Korps stands resolute, unmoved by fear or doubt, each soldier consumed by duty without question. Let us imagine their faces now, obscured beneath the gas masks and helmets that have become their iconic visage. Faces that the enemy never sees, For beneath the implacable armor lies the heart of a warrior community that asks for nothing but purpose. Their specialty, siege warfare, a brutal and relentless endeavor that embodies the spirit of attrition. Consider their presence, standing stoic in trenches scraped from the very marrow of a ravaged earth. They design warfare with a mind of intricate tactics, the precision of artillery fire and the somber patience of a hunter. With each push through mud and blood, another centimeter gained is relished as a step closer to victory, to redemption, one trench at a time. In the brilliant flash of artillery, they illuminate a legacy, the incandescent aftermath of their sacrifice, leaving only the inevitable acceptance of fate. Remember now, a soldier of Krieg's silence which speaks volumes, their history written in the still moments between bombardments, when time stretches thin and reality stands at the precipice, demanding discipline and resolve. Observe as this scene fades softly into muted echoes, the shadows of soldiers slipping away beneath their silent shroud. Beneath the ever-gloomy shroud that engulfs Krieg and follows its warriors, life unfolds monotonously within the trenches. The air hangs heavy with the dull thud of boots against hard-packed earth, the rasp of masks filtering air tinged with acrid remnants of ancient conflicts. Here, soldiers seem as much a part of the landscape as the jagged metal and sandbags, the rigors of routine etching themselves deeply into both the earth and the human spirit. As time meanders, take a moment to focus on their lives within these confines. The somber rhythm of existence measured by the ticking of auspexes and the metronomic clang of ordnance. A life suspended between night and day, where the passage of time is marked not by the sun's travel, but by the routine changing of guard. Each soldier, these embodiments of duty, functions as a cog in their martial machine. Their days are filled with devotion, moments of reprieve, few and far between. And yet, wrapped within layers of eternal vigilance, they live with a quiet, unspoken camaraderie. Threads of human connection weave through whispered conversations shared over mundane meals and dice games played by dim phosphorescent light. Friends and comrades who understand the numbing pressure of mortality shared across the razor edge of battle. Listen closely to their voices now, hushed yet resonant with the bonds of duty. Whispered echoes of lives forged amidst the tumult. The formation of memories existing just shy of written history. With every sunrise, barely visible, their work continues, fortifying the stone earth, repairing artillery, and sharing watchful stares through perennially fogged lenses. Imagine these warriors poised, alert in the stifling heat of summer and the biting frost of winter, their fortitude remaining unchanged. And as we regard their continued readiness, the reverent rhythm manifests, punctuated by the distant rumbles of artillery as mind and spirit find themselves waiting. Inhale deeply the somber honesty of their life, the keen edge of dedication. It is a lasting prayer, an oath sworn quietly amidst shadow and flame. And so we come to understand the quiet pride that blooms amongst the people of Krieg, a pride rooted not in the clamor of conquest, but in the silent affirmation of purpose. To the Death Korps, there is strength found in the steadfast embrace of their penance, where sacrifice is an emancipation and existence itself is a battle well fought. This pride is most visible in the legacy they create, in a legacy written not in victories sung or medals adorned, but in the very act of enduring. Imagine their martial pride encased within the rumble of countless trenches, the eerie quietness of disciplined steps forward, an endless echo into a future they might never gaze upon. Through the timeless monotony of war, they march unyielding, grey shapes against grey lands, a force perpetually poised on the edge of obliteration or triumph. The people of Krieg greet their lofty cause with solemn acceptance, a life of service honoring a debt not of their own making. Their steadfast perseverance is a testament to unwavering dedication, not in speaking of glory, but in knowing merely to serve. Close your eyes and picture the faces of veterans now, weathered by the elements and war alike, men and women whose shoulders bear the weight of Krieg's fate. Those whose smiles rarely break twilight grimaces, yet their gaze remains fixed upon a great purpose. Lower ranks look upon them as stewards of ancestral resolve, silent teachers preserving the torch of Krieg's honor. Into the heart of their legacy, Krieg treads with deliberate steps, each a monument to their unwavering drive, each caressed by the embrace of history's echo. Feel this gentle rhythm of acceptance and endurance, a heartbeat distilled within trenches, woven with both destiny's embrace and resolve's whisper. May we now gather together the soft illumination of their journey, where shadows blend with light and pride murmurs its silent invocation. The profound narratives of Krieg are sewn into the very culture that surrounds them. Low voices of ancestral heritage passing from parent to child, narratives that speak of duty etched into the marrow. This sacred bond between generations binds each soldier, crafting a continuity that stretches beyond the conscious, now toward eternity. As one gazes upon this chain of heritage, understand it is neither weight nor burden, but a prized gift, a realignment of spirit toward resolute purpose. The sagas of past battles, the testimonies of comradeship, whispered pensively beneath the eternal grey cloak. Their words, a harmony of stoic honor intertwined with the austere music of war. In this unyielding culture, no voice proclaims of great victories, no song of triumph echoes beyond the trenches. Instead, they tell of the new dawn that each soul hopes to greet, stories of resisting the throes of despair and the steps taken through the performance of duty. The stories recount not of personal glory, but collective fortune spent in shared persistence. Contemplate as now they gather and march beneath banners, tattered yet revered, each emblazoned with the symbology of lives dedicated, valorous acts unrecorded. As light fades from the skies, their culture mirrors the rhythms of sacrifice and echoes, untiring through catacombs of time. Watch them stand immersed in devotion and solemnity, awaiting the signal to advance, an advance that is endless, stretching onward into the infinite possibility of destiny. Inhale the resonant tones of their heritage, the gentle lull of remembrances cradled in ancient cadence. Stand among them and awaken the silent tale within. The story of Krieg, the pilgrim's penance, and the eternal march beneath a melancholic sky that gives no answers but asks nothing in return. The tapestry of Krieg has been woven with threads of profound sacrifice and accustomed resignation. Yet from this fertile binding of duty, there springs forth an understanding, a knowledge markedly their own. Amongst the soft shadows rests a formidable certainty that in the wake of battle, as the deathly shroud lingers and the day's toil winds down, their cause will remain resolute. For in the solemn spaces between, amidst the whispers of spent shells and the resonant sigh of relic machines, an unprecedented fortitude is uncovered, an unwavering faith. This gleaming shard of certainty adheres to their own souls, casting light even as it fades into solemn night. Their doctrines bind them, measured not by victories proclaimed, but by battles braved and completed. And in the shared affirmations of those who serve, the Krieg do not falter beneath burden or call, echoing their service to ancient legacies defined by honored deeds. Amidst ruined landscapes where conflicts waged thread endlessly, and amidst the gentle rhythm of marching boots, there blooms a meaningful silence, a gentle reminder circling softly to envelop, a treasured calm heart concealed from harsh worldly eyes. Those who stand now with heads bowed before the Emperor's eternal majesty reflect upon what has been spent and saved alike. It is these sacred recollections, imprinted by the shadows of Krieg's perpetual ardor, which form striking illustrations upon the canvas of destiny and sacrifice. As twilight casts its penumbral glow, feel the diminished yet ever-beating heart of this world, the embrace of duty's haven as time softens its step. Turn from shadows now, flee beyond the unyielding grip of ruins into the grand cradle of stars, where the future is woven gently across the firmament. Here, their quest carries on, framed by a whispering cosmos, each quivering breath marking testament to relentless resolve and silent valor. Thus, we've traversed this endless war beneath the true forgetting sky, a narrative resting upon duty, sacrifice, and profound acceptance. The quiet winds across the desolate plains of Krieg draw close around us now. As their story closes in the embrace of cosmic silence, reflect upon a message born neither of joyous hope nor mournful lamentation. Within the ashen folds of their saga, we discover the delicate balance of life's still heart, a measure of courage overshadowed but unyielded. The Krieg, embodying relentless pursuit without a claim, tirelessly forge their legacy, a quintessential homage to patient endeavor, where the sands of time, ageless and unwritten, flow with neither haste nor pause, cradling the echoes of strategies resolved and battles endured. It is here, finally, within shaded corridors of timeless passing, where the Death Korps stand solemnly, indomitable architects of their chosen fate. Amongst the grey ash and veiled shadows, they stride ceaselessly, bearing actions that whisper softly of destiny. Destiny sculpted not in fleeting triumphs, but by vigilant life on war's firmament. Feel the gentle rhythm of time that their existence traces, a reminder that beneath the ravages of endless conflict beats the serene drum of resolve, a heart undeterred by its journey. Let us now linger in their hushed presence as night recedes, gazing upon a landscape unbroken by storm or spectral fire. Nestled beneath this shroud of grey resounds a voice, gentle yet steadfast, a legacy entwined forever with the cosmos. Take with you their wisdom, the ageless troth of Krieg. Within it lies the enduring melody of service through which each soul awakens to the warmth of its timeless kin. So let us close together, enriched by their gentle consistency, their enduring humility, and the quiet resolve that marks them as pillars of timeless history. Nestled softly beneath ashen skies,